In 1997, shocking news were given of something that looked like it had come out of a sci-fi movie. Dolly, a sheep, was successfully cloned near Innsbruck, Scotland by Ian Whitman, Keith Campbell, and colleagues. First, what is cloning? According to University of Utah, cloning is the creation of an organism that is an exact genetic copy of another. That means that every single bit of DNA is the same between the two. Human cloning is wrong and it should be banned. This speech will cover 3 reasons as to why human cloning is wrong. The first reason that human cloning is wrong is that a large percentage of cloning efforts end in failure. For example, it took 277 attempts to clone Dolly's sheep. And clones that actually do survive frequently have fatal issues with their genes. According to David J. Jude, 24% of cloned calves died within 3 months of birth, 2% of those due to chronic diseases. Also, most of the clones that successfully grow die relatively soon. According to David J. Jude, the oldest successfully cloned mammal was only 5 years old at the time of his death. With such high numbers of failure, it would be illogical to clone humans because many babies would die in their experimenting stages, and the ones that do survive will probably die very young of chronic diseases. And it would be inhumane to do such things. Even one of the co-creators of Dolly, Ian Whitman, said that human cloning would be criminally irresponsible. The second reason that human cloning is wrong is that it could reduce the genetic diversity in human population. According to Giles St. Paul, by reducing diversity, cloning may increase the risk of population extinction through environmental shock. Also, the cloning of historically bad people like rulers and dictators, or a human race that was better or worse than the other one, could happen. And by cloning bad people, the first one that comes to mind would be Adolf Hitler. What if Adolf Hitler was cloned? Maybe he wouldn't be necessarily as bad or as powerful as the original one, but what if it did? Leaving that aside, what if a race of humans that were resistant to diseases, who were strong and smart, were created? That human race would probably take over the world. Or what if athletes were cloned? What if there was a Chicago Bulls Michael Jordans in which all the players in the team are Michael Jordan? Or maybe create a race of people with great strength and resistance, but that are relatively dumb to enslave and use as free labor. Although these things might sound a little weird, didn't cloning sound the same a while back? The third and final reason as to why cloning is wrong is that it would be humans playing God. Different religious denominations have different views on cloning. According to John H. Evans, the Roman Catholic Church opposes both therapeutic cloning and reproductive cloning. The Roman Catholic Church opposes therapeutic cloning because of its beliefs that the embryos are to be treated the same as a born person. That means that they cannot be destroyed, which would oppose the whole purpose of cloning embryos, because embryos are cloned to be destroyed to use their genetic makeup. Also, according to John H. Evans, the Protestant denominations are unified in their condemnations of reproductive and therapeutic cloning. In a survey taken in March 2001, people were asked whether they favor or oppose unrestricted scientific research related to human cloning. The results suggested that Americans strongly opposed cloning. 51% of respondents answered strongly opposed, 35% answered opposed, and only 12% favor and 2% strongly favor. In Psalms chapter 100 verse 3, the psalmist says, "Know ye that the Lord, He is God. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves." Cloning is an issue with a lot of controversy, with many people with it and many more against it. Some people that it's good for different reasons. On the other hand, many people say that cloning would be like playing God. Others say that it's not worth it because most of the time cloning efforts end in failure, like Dolly, who took 277 attempts to be created and at the end died at a relatively young age from a serious disease. And then there is an argument that cloning could lead to the creation of a superior or inferior human race. Some might be valid, some might not. But if one thing is for sure, is that cloning has more consequences than benefits, and it should be banned or outlawed because God is the only creator who created the whole universe and not us.